Hermione. Hi, I'm Jasmine. No. Hi, I'm Catalyst. Hi, I'm Macy. Hi, I'm Gabby. Hi, I'm Olivia. Hi, I'm Gabby. Hi, I'm Fatima.
Hi, I'm Ben.
I'm Friday, and we... Wow!
The Suppers have done a bunch of group tasks over the semester, and I'm sure you're wondering what they are and why they're doing it. First were icebreakers. We stated our name and a fact about ourselves. Other team members who shared this fact in common had to switch places. This allowed us to not only get acquainted, but find things we had in common with each other. This is a part of the forming stage in group development theory, one where we learn each other's personality traits, make first impressions, and begin.
In the bridge building challenge, our team entered the storming phase. Using only sticks, we had to build the most stable bridge possible, competing against other teams. Instead of planning in detail, we jumped straight into prototyping, just like kindergartens doing the marshmallow challenge. Clear roles emerged quickly. Some focused on building, while others created our team chant. This task brought up group cohesion, role division, and even some light conflict. Outside of the tutorial hours, as an unofficial task, we came together to divide roles and assign due dates. This required planning, negotiation, and goal setting. It also encouraged mutual motivation within the team, helping everyone stay committed to the project.
Planning might not sound glamorous, but trust us, it's where the magic happens.
Throughout the semester, we had to juggle safety, goals, roles, and let's be honest, a couple of wait, who's doing what again moments. So how do we keep things from descending into chaos?
First, safety and risk management. Especially during high-risk tasks like stand-up paddleboarding, we had to prepare for things like equipment failure, bad weather, or someone falling in. We assessed hazards, implemented control measures like PFDs, and always checked the forecast before going in. This aligns with the idea that anticipating setbacks helps build resilience and even anti-fragility, which means growing stronger through adversity. Plus, emotionally intelligent leadership was key, regulating our own stress, noticing when others were overwhelmed, and stepping in calmly to deal with it.
Safety also links with group cohesion. High cohesion teams manage risk more calmly and effectively. So from day one, we made sure to build trust through communication, regular check-ins, and clearly defined responsibilities. That meant showing who was doing each role for each task.
And of course, we had goals, smart ones, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. For example, paddleboarding for 10 minutes without falling by the end of today's session. This kind of goal setting builds motivation and team confidence. We also framed some goals around resilience, like remounting the board without frustration after falling, turning failure into growth.
We used team profiling to ask what does an ideal team look like. Then we set goals to close that gap. Social identity theory also reminded us that belonging matters. We created a shared sense of identity through team rituals and roles while still allowing for individual expression.
Our roles were clearly communicated. Leaders managed conflict, monitored cohesion, and helped shape the team environment. Everyone participated in setting goals and giving feedback. Some of us were motivators, some organizers, and occasionally someone took the devil's advocate role to challenge groupthink.
Our decision making? Mostly brainstorming. Everyone got to throw in their ideas with no judgment. Then we used dialectical inquiry, debating pros and cons, and sometimes nominal group technique, where people generated ideas individually and then shared. These methods helped include all our voices and led to stronger, clearer outcomes.
We saw the benefits of team decision-making firsthand. More creativity, less confusion, and better use of everyone's strengths, even if the perfect square wasn't actually that perfect.
Exactly! There was one big hiccup, a process conflict near the end when responsibilities for our final assignment weren't clear. Everyone was a bit stressed, but instead of blaming each other, we were strict on the issue. After a practical, we sat down, clarified the criteria, allocated roles by choice to keep motivation high, and set deadlines. This follows Greer's theory. Early conflict resolution reduces risk and improves group performance.
And let's not forget documentation. Every session had at least one GoPro capturing footage passed around from different perspectives that helped with reflection and gave us insight into how we function as a team, and provided a lot of unintentional blooper reels.
So yeah, planning wasn't just about ticking boxes, it was how we kept things safe, effective and fun. Whether it was paddleboarding, bridge building or filming this video, it all came back to good preparation and great teamwork.
In our leadership group, self-awareness helped us recognise when we were holding ourselves back. As Dydorf, Fisher and Ruben highlight, individuals who understand their own behaviours and attitudes perform better in teams, and that for us was true. During one tutorial, we were given what seemed like a simple team-building challenge, to create a perfect square out of a rope with our eyes closed. Instead of jumping in and experimenting, we spent an excessive amount of time planning. We were overthinking everything, trying to predict every possible outcome before even giving the task a go. It stalled our progress and created unnecessary confusion. Then, somebody finally said, "Are we just overcomplicating this? Should we just try it?" That moment of reflection made us pause. We realised that all our planning was making the task harder than it needed to be. That awareness helped us shift our mindset. We simplified our approach and gave it a go. That moment of collective self-awareness brought clarity, and as Barry could else suggest, reducing anxious behaviour in a group strengthens cohesion. From then on, we focused on action over perfection and worked far more effectively together.
While some other groups here don't always seem to get along, the suppers are able to complete each task because they understand their group dynamics. Group dynamics makes up the functioning of teams and are composed of many topics we have seen today, as it is the pattern of behaviours and interpersonal relationships within a group. The supper's group dynamic at times assists in their performance, but sometimes can cause them to become a little distracted. This is because their social cohesion is better developed than their task cohesion, meaning they will sometimes say they have completed the task, but in reality it is far from that.
This active student.
Well, we do get each task done, I guess. I mean, sometimes we bend the rules, but it doesn't seem to matter. I just want to have a good time.
This supper clearly doesn't seem to consider task cohesion as an integral part of the group's dynamic, which could possibly cause some conflict between the suppers as they don't all agree on the goals and expectations for the group. To work through this, more communication is needed to re-evaluate how everyone is feeling at this stage.
I just feel like what I'm doing is going to cause that big of an impact, and to be honest, I'm not really sure what I'm meant to be doing, so why would I care how we end up?
I think this supper feels a little bit of role ambiguity and doesn't feel a sense of belonging. With a clear outline of the responsibilities of each role, it will help everyone to understand what they are responsible for and just how they are helping the group. As each day out here on the Swan passes, we see the suppers grow in team confidence as their strengths and weaknesses are discovered. They are able to get through each task with an appropriate use of supportive language to build each other up through difficult times, and how everyone feels a part of the group.
Throughout a wide range of tasks, all team members have stepped up to lead the troops into battle, displaying the leadership attributes we all know and love.
Leadership is multifaceted, combining personality, emotional intelligence, resilience, and effective team dynamics. Key personality traits that are linked with strong leadership include high conscientiousness, agreeableness, extroversion, and openness, as they foster productive and cooperative environments. Emotionally intelligent leaders, those who work hard to understand and manage their own emotions and that of others, build trust, cohesion. Transformational leadership stands out as the most effective form of leadership, involving inspirational, motivation, intellectual stimulation, and individualized consideration.
Towards the start, we've struggled to delegate tasks. However, thanks to the resilience and anti-fragility of our leaders, the team stepped up to the mark. Whether that was our impressive popsicle bridge or our immaculately inspirational war cry, improvements were obvious.
In teams, cohesion, role clarity, and a sense of collective efficacy contribute to success. Leaders must foster open communication, constructive criticism, and so much more.
The leaders amongst us were always enthusiastic and provided encouragement, which rubbed off on the rest of us. Even when one team member was down, One of their peers was there to lend a helping hand.
Finally, good leaders inspire vision and change. Unlike managers who focus on order and routine, both are essential. But leadership is about doing the right things, not just doing things that are right.
You're probably wondering how our group has done so well in our tasks. Well, it starts off with being a good leader. There are 3 main leadership styles presented by Bernard Bass in the full range leadership model. Each group will have a variety of leadership combinations with a diversity of effectiveness. A laissez-faire leader is very laid back. They won't display leadership behaviour such as responsibility and interest or investment in group tasks. In other words, they're doing niche. Groups with this leadership style typically experience conflict since the leader doesn't provide support or direction, often refusing to make decisions and leaving other group members feeling lost and unsure of their roles, just like our suppers here. A transactional leader is focused on rewarding desired behaviours and punishing unwanted actions. The leader will closely monitor working performance for errors or mistakes and only provide support in exchange for effort, just like Willow is doing here.
Did so badly.
Despite how harsh this leadership style is, these leaders will provide clear goals, structures, and expectations to support their followers to reach such. The last leadership style is the most effective, where leaders, especially in our supping group, set high expectations and inspire followers to achieve goals further than their own interests, such as the performance of the group. This inspires group members, leading them to progress further than what's expected from them. These leaders have an idealized influence within their group, acting as a role model with charisma, integrity, and moral decision-making. The leaders put team members' needs above their own and demonstrate trust, self-development, consistency, and exhibit their desired team values. Transformative leaders act with inspirational motivation and deploy individualized consideration. They celebrate and encourage the achievements of individual team members and the team as a whole, while promoting group priorities and a collective vision. They take the time to connect with each team member, providing individualized support, and to provide people with the tasks that best suit their abilities. Likewise, they will also provide intellectual stimulation, letting group members make decisions which encourages creativity and incorporates a variety of perspectives, which allows for the whole group to have input on strategies and verdicts on group tasks.
Suppers are finding out what it's like to develop as a group through Tuckman's stages. We're beginning at the forming stage. How sweet, they're just getting to know each other. We're seeing Jahari's window in action here. You've got your open area, which is what the suppers and their teammates know about them objectively, and then there's your blind area, which is what a supper's teammates know about them, but that supper doesn't, like your blatant lack of self-awareness. You've also got the hidden area, like your deepest secrets. I'm only kidding. Only things that you haven't told the other suppers about you yet. Then there's the unknown area, which is what nobody, not even the supper themselves, knows about themselves yet. But that comes with time. Whilst the suppers are forming, they're building a bit of trust between themselves whilst learning things about the other suppers, becoming familiar with everyone's personality traits, which will be important later on. Maybe even finding out what they don't even know about themselves yet. How exciting! Oh no, I feel something brewing. They must be storming. You know they're storming when the suppers start to challenge each other's ideas and roles. There's a bit of conflict in the group in this stage, but it's perfectly normal, nothing to worry about. They'll experience task conflict, where there are clashes in strategies and frustration over the goals and content of the tasks. Don't forget a nice little dash of social conflict thrown in there, as the group's personalities are bound to clash with a bit of miscommunication and power struggle. And just to top it off, some process conflict. Too many cooks, not enough dishes. Things get confusing and the suppers don't establish the responsibilities in the group too well, with infighting as to how to go about solving the tasks.
Like, we're sitting there, we're having a nice time doing a task, and then it comes over, oh, let's focus on the task. Like, come on, mate, we already are. Like, what are you doing? We're just having a chat, you know? It's called social cohesion. It's bonding as a group. Like, honestly, does he even know what this is? Honestly, it just gets my nerves so much. Like, just chatting all the time, never focusing on the task, honestly. It just grinds my gears every time. Every week I just, see his face and like, not again.
But after the storm comes the calm. The group now experiences norming, where there is more team cohesion, roles become clearer, trust is built, and the team works more collaboratively. How good! After that, there's performing. In this stage, the suppers are displaying team confidence, feeling well practiced and able to complete a task well. It also helps that they're all supportive of one another. Aww.
Okay, perfect.
I think we've really improved as a team, you know. I think we've really gelled. Obviously we're very chatty, but you know, in the last few weeks has really, you know, delved into the task as well. I'm really proud of where we've come. We've come along with the group, like, still chat, but it's like productive chat, you know, we're talking about the task. Still 50-50 on Ben, I'm not sure how I feel. But you know, I think we've come along with the group, really developed.
How do you feel about that?
Our team is really advancing. Sadly, after this next stage is adjourning, where the suppers leave the shed after achieving their goals. But don't worry, we aren't there yet.